Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, faculty and teachers, and of course these fine young graduates and their families. Before I start today, I would like to thank Mr. Casaboon and others for the invitation to give the commencement address today. I'm extremely honored, and it's always nice to see some familiar faces. Please accept my apologies, for this is not my normal communication device. My Dynavox, decided it wasn't going to reboot again without going into the shop a few weeks ago, so this was the next best thing. Actually, the sound of the voice has a little more quality to it, which is a good thing. Just have to go with the flow. I have to admit I have written for almost every occasion, but I haven't written a commencement address. Ideas started rolling around in this old brain of mine, but I was very unsure what I could say that could have any impact on these fine graduates. Frankly, I don't recall what was said at my own graduation 24 years ago. I think I was looking forward to the party afterwards. Yes, always the party girl. At this age, you think you know everything there is to know about life. I'm here to tell you that this is not the case. Even at my age, I am still learning about life and how to navigate through it. I have failed a number of times in my life, and I also have achieved a great deal. The best life lessons are when you fail. Pick yourself back up from the floor, and learn from your failures. In college, I had a vision how I wanted my life to turn out. I actually had a college course where I had to write a paper about the way I envisioned my life 20 years in the future. And I have to tell you, my life is very different than what I wrote in that paper, and I am certainly happy about my life has turned out. Do I wish I would have done things a little differently? Of course I do. But if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be the person I am today. You have to make mistakes to learn from them, and then move forward. The old adage is true. With age comes wisdom. Now I'm going to talk a little about technology, how it enhanced my life, and probably enhanced all of your lives as well. Around 1980, Crotched Mountain got 2 Apple IIe computers. I wish I had a crystal ball back then to have gotten a glimpse to what computers would be able to do 30 years into the future. We had no idea what these computers would do for us, but we were fascinated and we couldn't wait to use them. I must admit we played games on them, like computer golf, and a Dungeons and Dragons type game. Towards the second part of the 1980s, better software was being developed to do all kinds of things on the computer. I have a never-ending love for music. And 24 years ago, I would never envisioned what computer technology has allowed me to do today. Look at me. I can't play a traditional piano, but I can play one with music software. I can essentially play any musical instrument with the help of a computer. Today's computer software is phenomenal, and every day new things are being developed. So graduates, don't despair if you can't do a task today, because technology will give you a chance to do that same task tomorrow. And who would have thought I would be playing Words with Friends with my former Crotched Mountain principal and be able to win a few games? Just remember to put away your iPad if you're sitting on the tarmac waiting for your plane to take off. Let me give a shout out to Bill Corwin. Believe it or not, he was my art teacher most of the time I was at Crotched Mountain. He had his own Apple computer in which students could use to draw with. I had trouble using the Mac mouse because I don't have very good hand control. Most of the time in art class, I had a marker or a paintbrush taped to my head pointer. Never did I imagine I would have the capability to draw precise artwork on a computer that I can do today. To reiterate, none of us know where technology will take us 2 years or 5 years from now. I thank Bill for nurturing my visual creativity. I have also learned throughout my life that if you want respect, you have to give respect. Respect your parents, your brothers and sisters, your extended family, your friends, and all the people who are going to enter your life, because there will be many people who you'll meet. Of course you won't see eye to eye with everybody, but give them a chance. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is a powerful virtue to have. With the power to feel empathy, you'll be able to see all the colors that surround you, while some people see only black, white and gray. Don't be one of those individuals who believes the world revolves only around them, because it doesn't. If you notice that somebody is having a bad day, tell them that things will get better tomorrow. Life is a process for defining yourself and defining what kind of a handprint you want to leave on the world. This process doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it is a lifelong process. Realize the world is much, much bigger than any one of us. Don't be a bystander. Be a leader in something, even if it is the smallest contribution. Be a leader. In some point of your life, you'll be touched by someone who will develop diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, or cancer. You might want to support a cause which finds homes for shelter animals, provides meals for low-income children, or some other cause you believe in. You'll want to join in the fight to lend a hand trying to help society progress in some way that is leaving your handprint on the world. It's something to be proud of. When I left here 24 years ago, self-advocacy was rarely talked about. The definition of self-advocacy is an individual's ability to effectively communicate, convey, negotiate, or assert his or her own interests, desires, needs, and rights. Self-advocacy involves making informed decisions and understanding the consequences of these decisions. If somebody is unable to communicate effectively, I would hope that someone close to the individual would step in and do the advocating. I know all of you had very good caseworkers at Crotched Mountain, but caseworkers for the state are bogged down with numerous cases, and if you don't request their presence, you are just a folder in their filing cabinet. Ever since I remember, I was always told what was expected of me, and I always listened to authority. I never imagined that I would be the voice of so many in Rhode Island who are being dismantled by state budget cuts. We live in pretty crazy times right now where state governments are battling to balance their budgets, and the first thing they consider is cutting programs for people with developmental disabilities. They don't think we can stand up for ourselves, but we do. They don't think we have the voices to speak up for ourselves, but we do. We can't allow our government to shoo us away. We can't allow them to think we don't have a place in our world, because we do. I have learned that not everybody is your best interests in their hands all of the time. At some point you will recognize when you have to say no. I will not do that. You have to put your best interests in your hands. Your destiny should be your own. Own it. If you don't like something, speak your mind. You might have heard people talking about what they want to do for work, and most people advise them to do what they love to do. I imagine if we all went to work dreading what we do, I don't think most of us would get out of bed if we had to face another tedious day of work. My oldest niece went to college to become a graphic artist. All of her life she loved to draw, loved to do art projects. She graduated college very successfully. She landed a job at a small, local paper, and not too long after that, she decided that she did not like being a graphic artist. Sitting at a desk all day, rearranging newspaper ads wasn't her cup of tea. Now, slowly, she's taking classes to become an occupational therapist. I have another friend who graduated with a degree in art history. She got a job at United Cerebral Palsy and worked with me and a few others for a couple of years. Next she landed what she thought was her dream job at a day program which centers its curriculum around the arts. Every time I see her, I ask how her job is. Most of the time, she cringes. Now she plans to take an apprenticeship to become an electrician. The prior examples of people going in different directions after college and few years of getting out and working are not very uncommon. In my case, it was a little different because finding a job in the field of architecture was a very hard thing to do. I had to do something to keep me busy between small building projects. I started composing music. I started doing some desktop publishing, and I also wrote a novel. From the time I graduated college until about 3 or 4 years after, I continued sending out resumes to architectural firms. I got the sense that maybe I wasn't destined to work in architecture. Maybe I was destined to be a writer, a musician, and an activist. Occasionally people will ask me to help design a kitchen, or even a simple ramp, and I need to flip a switch in my mind to get me back in that building mode. It always amazes me how everything comes back when I'm in that mode. The point of all of this is that you have to follow your heart and pursue what you love to do. If you can do that, everything else will fall into place. If I can give young people a few words of advice when embarking on a new phase of their lives, They would be loved deeply and honestly. Cherish your family and your friends. Treasure those new lives that enter your family and enjoy watching them grow up. Reach out to ones who are in need. Learn something new every day. Be proactive in voting in every government election because your voice is important. Smile and laugh every day. Laughing is what keeps you young. And the most important thing of all, have confidence in yourself. Follow your heart in everything you do, because only you know yourself the best. Good luck to you all. Thank you.